For more, let's bring in Florida gubernatorial candidate, Congressman Byron Donalds. Congressman, great to have you here from the great state and the free state of Florida. So let's dive right into this. Here we have a narrative by the left. Here we have this constant attack on Republicans. And what say you in response? You're a congressman now, but as a governor, you might have to deal with some of the things we see coming out of Texas.
First and foremost, with what's going on in Texas, I wish Governor Abbott and the Republicans in Texas Godspeed on what they're trying to do, making sure that their districts reflect the political will of the state of Texas. That's number one. Number two, when it comes to the headlines from the Democrats, especially when it comes to the economic reports, they've been sowing seeds of a demise of our economy under Donald Trump, but the data actually demonstrates the exact opposite. Wages adjusted for inflation are up. I know in a jobs report the other day, foreign-born workers were actually down in the jobs report. But what that actually means is that Americans will be able to get far more competitive wages going forward as a result. You look at overall economic growth, that's up. Donald Trump is cutting the regulatory environment. We extended all of his tax policy, including adding new tax policy, which actually favors working families, people at the bottom, et cetera, so that they can have more money in their pocket. So it's a success. It's a recipe for success. Of course, the Democrats want to downplay that, but every month we see our economy getting stronger.
We do. And the tariff revenue has been substantial also, helping us plug holes where we've needed money to come in. You know, the left started with this narrative on Liberation Day that the world was going to implode because of Trump's tariffs. It absolutely hasn't. $152 billion is what we've raked in so far. $300 billion is what's projected. That's at the low end for the year. And the inflation, Congressman, that they were predicting, it hasn't materialized yet.
No, it hasn't. And I would also add that the new trade deals that the president has been able to negotiate, frankly, is because of tariff policy. So when you're seeing more direct capital investment in the United States, that means jobs for the American people. That means us actually being a part of the supply chain for goods and services and not just the end buyer of goods and services, which actually is a major boon for Americans who are in the United States who are trying to not just hold on to jobs, but making sure they have higher paying jobs for themselves and for their families. And yeah, tariffs, in my view, is what's really occurred here is that the president has used tariff policy to reset the trade balance, the trade relationships around the globe, to put America on an even footing with other countries in the world, as opposed to the previous trade deals in the United States that has really put American companies and American workers behind other nations around the globe. Donald Trump has said enough is enough. And so, yeah, you're going through this time period where this is all going to be settled out. But he's been pretty clear. He'll try to negotiate a deal with these countries, and he's been pretty successful at doing that so far.
You know, Congressman, instead of the doom and gloom that we actually saw in the numbers under Joe Biden, when you look at the overall strategy of the president, tariffs, pro-growth policies, you in Congress who've done your jobs with the big, beautiful law, with the rescissions, there's a planned second reconciliation package that the Republican Study Committee has begun to look at. This is something that other nations are seeing, a stable American economy and a capitalist economy. How much do you think that plays into how the world sees us and deals with us?
Well, first, I will tell you the way the world is looking at us now is that they know that the games of the Democratic left are over, where they would talk tough on news clips, but nothing actually would occur. Number two, they know that Donald Trump's not going to put up with business as usual, whether it's the G8, the G20, or anybody else. Those days are over. And I think overall, number three, I think the companies around the globe, as well as other countries, are realizing, you know what? Maybe it is time to reinvest in the United States, because it's not just tariffs and trade, it's the regulations, it's tax policy, it's energy policy. The United States is open for business again. And when we're open for business, that only helps everybody in our country whether they are poor, whether they're middle income, and yes, of course, if you're at the top of the ladder.
Yeah, it's a big, beautiful bill. The tax cuts that were included in there, the growth that is going to come from that, and all of this foreign investment. And it needs time to bear some fruit. The Democrats love just saying that, we don't have the growth, it's not there. Let's take a deep breath. Congressman, we want to get to this. It turns out that one of your colleagues on the other side of the aisle seems not exactly proud to be an American. This is Illinois Congresswoman Delia Ramirez.
I want to finish by saying a few words in Spanish because I am a Guatemalan with much pride before I am an American.
And it actually gets worse. She's responded to the backlash from this comment with a statement, writing in part, "Today's attacks are a weak attempt to silence and dissent and invalidate my patriotic criticism of the nativist, white supremacist authoritarians in government." Congressman, she did this while speaking from a socialist-run country where authoritarianism lives along with the various other problems. And what about her oath? The fact that she's supposed to take an oath that you did in Congress without reservation, freely, and clearly stating her allegiance to America.
Look, I've never had a chance to meet Delia, but let me just say, you don't get to represent another country before you represent the United States of America. David, you said it better than I could. That is the oath we all take as not just members of Congress. The president takes that oath. Every governor and every state legislator in our country, they take the same oath. And to say that you're more Guatemalan than American, I think is reprehensible. You have a duty to represent the people, the American people, who voted for you to be their representative, not to put them in second-class status. But this is, quite frankly, very typical of the left, because when you look at what they advocate for, doesn't matter if it's Hamas or some third world country where they think it's okay for people to come in our country illegally, regardless of the implications on the American people. Too many elected Democrats are far too concerned about representing interests outside of the United States of America, as opposed to representing the people that they were elected to serve. That's not a white supremacist statement. That's not a nativist statement. That is a real statement. That is a constitutional statement. And it is the standard that every elected official should have.
Yeah.
Congressman Byron Donalds, gubernatorial candidate. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.